change your habit. Okay? And this is the process, and it is challenging. It is challenging for every new employees also that come into our current clubs. But we deal with that with a very structural management, and that's what we do. But it is challenging.
Question? Let's see. Probably have many questions, but any of those are not questions to make here. I see many gyms all over the place, and I see many cases gyms, at least in Spain, do not succeed. The gym business model is you can find it online in many places. You know how much you need to spend to set up the low cost business. The question here is, I see you're going to that corner, trying to provide a service. What is the bulk that you need in members? Let's say here in Spain or in Madrid or in Barcelona, to get going one of your gyms.
Okay. Business structure. Okay. Let's see if you have the capacity for it.
I'm sorry, I'm asking this because
No.
I see this in the States, and
I think it's a great. I think it's a
works
great.
perfectly.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's great. I'm just going to try to simplify it. Okay. Because it's not so easy. To make it simple, the way our business model works is, first of all, depending on the level of rent, the fixed cost. Okay? So, think about it. You have, whatever you do, if you have 1 member or 4,000 members, you need to pay your rent. Okay? You try to build any club in the host place model where the fixed cost will, más o menos, will fit that break-even point in terms of price per member to cover the fixed cost that you have in terms of salaries, rent, and utilities at around 2,000 members. Okay? The beauty of the fitness business is that every member over and above the 2,000, let's say, okay, is pure to the bottom line. The danger in this business is that if you have 1,999, you're losing every month, and you need to inject money to the business. Okay? So all the so now it's about how many meters you want to. So that's a kind of. And those days, the new models that we are planning to have is around 1,500, because there is a real opportunity in real estate now in Spain. That's one of the things that excite our investors now. We actually, I didn't want to get into it, but the Homespace Spain story is quite an amazing one. What we've done in the last 2 years, we actually took this company out of insolvency. Homespace International, when they established Homespace Spain, sold it in 2005 in 110 million, the Spanish business. 110 million euros, okay? Very impressive. The venture capital, then it's been transferred from a private hand to a venture capital. The venture capital been offered in 2008 a very general offer of 155 million, and they refused, and it was just before the Lehman Brothers story. And what's happened is basically that the venture capital got insolvent, and the banks called Homespace International to take it back. That's the real story that happened here, which is quite amazing. Now, how do you do that? How do you turn around a business that basically got bankrupt, and you need to turn it around? It's a time for another lecture, but regarding the real estate opportunity that happened in Spain at the moment, that we could actually even reduce the current agreement, long-term agreement with the rent with the landlords here, which is kind of quite. I don't know if you ever try to negotiate your landlord here from the company, but it's a real opportunity. The environment for cutting costs that are there, and if you know how to use it, you can do a lot with that.
Did you have to change because of the crisis, like making a new low-end product or something?
What we did in the crisis, we had we had the crisis all around, but we had a special crisis where September 2012, there was a VAT increase in Spain. Were you aware about the VAT increase?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know from which level to which level?
Yes, 15 to 21.
from 17 to 21. Okay?
Before it was 14, went up.
14 was it. Okay. Now, there is special industries in Spain that used to pay only 8%. Okay? Which, by the way, tourism. Okay? Fitness and cinemas, restaurants, and football. Football, of course. Football game, only 10%. Only 8%. Now, when they increased from 8 to 10, they took out the privilege for cinemas and fitness to be in the low level. So we had to increase from 8% to 21% in 1 month. For most of the fitness industry, it was a death penalty. For us, it wasn't easy, but we managed it with a very interesting strategy. Again, very hard, roughly. We changed all the members' contract. They were willing to be committed for long term. We cut a lot of our costs, and we basically improved our value proposition because we had been able to inject money to improve the product at the same time. So, really roughly, that's what we did. More.
Do you work with nutrition? Are your personal trainers train you in nutrition, and do you work with people on the nutritional aspect?
We have both services, personal training, which is much more massive in the volume, and we also have a nutritionist included as part of our service. In Portugal, for example, we actually embedded the nutrition inside your membership, and you have 4 sessions a year. You have a welcome session, so it's like giving you the complete solution. Here we only have in Spain, you have it available in the club, but it's not something that is part of the service.
Do you only rent or also own the place?
It's different between facility to facility, but the main business model is renting. Okay, and if we can, we do a turnkey deal. Turnkey meaning that we find investors that are willing to invest. We give them at 12% interest for a 20 or 30 years contract, and then and we pay rent. That's easier expansion strategy. You don't need to buy the building.
But do you see the opportunity here? It's bargaining the landlord in the rents more than buying the properties, or what do you see the opportunity, or how all places see the opportunity here?
There's new builds and there's basically taking over. Both. It's really depend between the two deals. Again, if you need to buy the building, let's say that we need 3,000 meters. If you need to buy a building of 3,000 meters, you need to spend only for buying the meter. Let's say you could bargain €1,000 per meter. So you need to spend only 3 million, and then you need to construct a club with another 3 million. So it's inflating the cost usually. So what you're trying to do is actually you keep the building. Let's just invest 3 million and pay it in 20 years. And that's mean, let's say, 300, 400,000 euro rent a year, which is okay to the 1,500. Yeah.
The first inspiring talk that everybody joins those places. Second, I have my son living in Geneva, who I was speaking to just before coming here, and he said, please let him know that the gym closes too soon, and people work very late there, so please, operating hours a little bit later there. So that's a direct request. And are you franchising here in Spain right now, or not?
We probably going to we're going to start franchising at the moment. We're probably going to have a first franchisee coming next quarter.
Do you have incentive system for trainers? Because trainers are the direct meeting point with customers. And if trainers are getting incentive only with the numbers of the customers, or because what I felt with my experience when I used gym in Korea, I felt that trainers are carrying me when I pay for the trainers only, or when I have a period that I need to renew my contract. So how do you
manage it?
Yeah, trainers.
first of all, we splitting. I mean, we always have, you see us in different shirts. The one that's interacting with members, you can see it with red shirt, and the personal training, we always with red shirt, with black shirt. So it's like, it's very clear also for the customers to understand who can they approach or not. If you are in a red shirt and you are dealing with a customer who actually pay for the training, so it will be polite to look for the red shirt if you need any help. But I think one of the strong points of the Spanish people is that they have a good service level conscious and awareness. It's quite an advantage when you deal around many countries. Israel is like service level is usually find them chewing gums in reception, and there's a whole process of education that needs to be in place. That's why we put the ties for the Israelis to understand. Okay, if I use the tie, then I'm not chewing gum. Okay, so you need to explain this. It's not so obvious. But in Europe, here in Spain, the level of courtesy is much higher, and it's really there. They're really inspired. Sometimes you even want to push them to sell. Okay, no, I'm helping. But you need to get to your target, man. Okay, so that's how we deal with this situation.
Thanks, Tim. Could you share your view on how the health industry is going to innovate in the next 5 to 10 years?
The industry itself. First of all, I do see the trend of moving, inspiring to move, coming from many directions forward, and technology have a big part of it. If you basically saw the latest release of Apple iWatch, how that's going to monitor everything you're going to do. We also have a company that's dealing with movement motivation. It's a sister company. I don't want to elaborate too much. So I think the world trend to take this 70% was not regular training and introducing more into fitness, it's still a growing trend. Regarding the market, I think that the mid-market will not exist, and we already see that now. So if you're not offering mid-market, used to be clubs that offer, let's say, 50 euros or even less, without a pool, that those kind of will have to take places. Either going to go premium or going to go low. That's more and more we see it because there's no unique proposition. There will be the trend of convenient is already starting. If you know a brand called Anytime Fitness, it's only started now. It's the biggest franchise in the world. They have a different concept. They basically take, they said, minimum service but maximum price. So if we do the segmentation, nobody thought about putting something there because that's basically saying that if you do that, instead price for value, they basically say, I'm going to give a very little value in a high price. But it's working for them. Why is it working for them? Because the model is very small. The people actually like to be distinguished, so they're not aiming to have break-even is 500 in those clubs, and they're putting good equipment, very low service, but it's working because the people who go there want to be distinguished with the locals, but they don't need all the support and the motivation and the social. They just want to go and go out. That's what they want, and it's fit them. So there's population for that. So more segmentation, but not going to the mainstream. The normal gym that used to be.
Well, do you have any plans to disrupt yourself in the coming years?
Sorry?
Do you have any plans to maybe to disrupt yourself in the coming years? Like, is there a longer term vision that you have that you're preparing to see for the coming?
We have. We have very as a company. You see, we take models. We look at others and on a constant basis and we're leading strategies. So main expansion at the moment taking place in Eastern Europe. Poland is a growing state, and there's a lot of expansion. Switzerland is a growing market for us at the moment. Seems proved to be stable, and that's can swallow more premium market into place. And also Spain is a very interesting market at the moment. It's in the point that if you know what's going on, you can really expand the business nicely.
Do you have plans?
Last question. Okay. I know the room here. Sorry.
Do you have any plan to expand
We've been to India. Very bad experience. What? China, Thailand. Franchisee, because one of the things that we learned in life after the Indian experience, that one thing that the company needs to be really, really focused is where it's playing. Okay? And when you decide where to play, you need to make sure that it's a place that you can win. We're not sure we can win there. We don't have enough knowledge. Probably if I go there, it's probably will be with some kind of franchisee, with a local partner. Because if you don't know the market, you can think. We failed in Hungary. We had to close down. We had one club there, and we had an expansion plan, and we failed for many reasons. And in India, we had a franchisee that failed. They just didn't pay. Very, very hard. It's a business culture, and we had a local partner. So not at the moment. Not at the word to play in the moment.
Do you know why you failed in India?
We basically failed because the business not failed. The concept was okay, but because of the people. We came there, we had an agreement, they didn't pay. They didn't pay, changed ownership in between. We sent some guys of us, they recruit him. Things happen in life. To teach them and they recruit him. So, but they're not doing
Last question. What time do you plan to hit in the marathon? What time?
What is my time?
It's
I'm easy going. My best marathon is 3:20. I'm going to do 3:40.
That's good.
Yeah? What's yours?
3:45.
If you want to join? Okay.
So, thank you all for. I just want to make the usual thanks to Ali for hosting us, to you for coming to this event, also for the Israeli Club and the Jewish Business Club team for preparing this event, and of course Hotel Puerto America for hosting us and for sponsoring this event, etc. And I already saw Cynic on TED. And I started thinking about why we're doing it, how we're doing it, what we're doing, and I have a lot of time to think about why we are doing the things and how we need to release that. So it was a really pretty inspiring talk. Thanks a lot for sharing us. Thanks a lot for coming from Barcelona just for this talk. And again, an applause for him. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming and good night.
You're welcome to take a day pass if you want. And this is the Credo.
Thank you.